Hey, what's up, you beautiful people? I hope you all are doing well. Today, we're going to be talking about what might be the most hyped up devices of the year, the Google Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro. These phones were touted for months prior to the announcement. In fact, the leaks were so bad that eventually Google themselves just threw in the towel and showed the phone with a coming soon banner below it. So the question is, did they live up to the hype? I have the Google Pixel 6 Pro here, and we're going to talk about it starting with the design. But before we do that, I want to tell you about some awesome deals happening at Best Buy, which also happens to be this video's sponsor. So check it out. Best Buy is kicking off Black Friday and Cyber Monday with a bang, and they have a ton of deals. This is going to be a good one. So I have a list of my favorite deals that Best Buy is going to be offering, but there's going to be a ton of sales. Make sure to click the link in the description of this video. It will take you over to Best Buy to their Cyber Monday and Black Friday page, and you can shop around. I guarantee you'll find something that you're looking for. You're going to be able to get Windows laptops for as low as $129.99. You're going to be able to get smart TVs for as low as $99.99. I mean, come on, how can you beat that for a new TV? Save $180 on select Beats Studio 3 headphones. If you're looking for some new headphones and you like Beats, there you go. Save up to 50% on Google Smart Home and Smart Security products. This is something I'll definitely be looking into because I'm thinking about switching my Ring system over to Nest. And you can get up to a $200 Best Buy gift card with a major appliance purchase. Like I said, there's gonna be a ton of other deals, so make sure to click the link in the description to check them out, and then come back here and let me know in the comment section what you decide to pick up. The look of the Pixel 6 Pro is different than any other Pixel device. In fact, it looks different than any other phone currently on the market, at least from the backside. It's a design that will be forever associated with the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro. And this might be exactly what Google was going for, since it makes identifying this phone easy when someone is using it. The back is like a two-tone color, and it comes in three colors. Stormy black, which is offset by a mid-tone gray at the top, cloudy white, which has a light gray top, and then finally there is sorta sunny, which I have here. It's a mostly cream color, which is contrasted with a light orange up at the top. The phone feels pretty good in the hand, although it's not my favorite. I'm not a fan of the glossy glass on the backside, especially now that so many other manufacturers are adopting matte glass, which I prefer. It's not a big deal, and a simple skin or a case can fix this issue. Let me know what style of glass you prefer in the comment section, since this is something that's really subjective. From a durability perspective, it's held up pretty good. I've been using the Golden Glow case directly from Google. It's a nice looking case, but really only offers the bare minimum protection on the backside. I haven't found a good tempered glass solution yet, but the Pixel 6 Pro definitely needs one. If you know of a good one, let me know in the comments. Due to the case not really having a lip and the display being curved, it can be scratched with normal use, so just be mindful if you're using this specific combo. The Pixel 6 Pro has a fantastic display. It's a 6.7-inch Quad HD Plus display, it's protected by Gorilla Glass Victus, and it's honestly one of the best things about the Pixel 6 Pro experience. It's an LTPO display, which means it can automatically adjust its refresh rate. It can bounce between 120 Hz and go all the way down to 10 Hz, depending on the content being viewed. This is what a lot of other flagship devices are using, which is great. It's nice to see Google taking advantage of this tech, since it should improve battery life. The display also supports HDR10 content and has a peak brightness of around 860 nits. It's not the brightest display on the market, and some people may struggle making things out when in harsh sunlight, but outside of that, it should be completely fine. For color accuracy, it's best to use the natural mode, as it takes advantage of the sRGB color space. If you want a slightly more vibrant look, you can use boosted, which still uses the sRGB color space but boosts the saturation of the colors. Adapted will be the least accurate, but could be the most pleasing to some people, since it provides the punchiest, more vibrant look overall. All in all, it's a great display that provides an excellent content consumption experience, whether you're watching a movie, a show, or doing some gaming. I did want to mention one thing. There have been reports about a weird display flickering issue, but I haven't noticed it on my unit. The good thing is Google said a fix is coming if it's not already here by the time you're seeing this video. And I really dislike curved displays, in case I haven't reiterated that enough in my previous videos. Speaking of the content consumption experience, let's talk about the speakers. The Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro feature adaptive sound, which uses the microphone to record pieces of audio as you're listening to content in order to dynamically adjust the EQ settings. It's not a new feature. It was introduced with the Pixel 5. The concept sounds amazing, but in practice, it's not all that. It does help, but it's only slightly. The Pixel 6 Pro just doesn't have the best speakers compared to other phones on the market, especially phones like the iPhone or Galaxy S21 Ultra. That's not to say they won't do the job, but they're just not on the same level as other flagship devices. Here's a quick example with and without adaptive sound so you can hear for yourself. Okay, let's talk about performance. The Pixel 6 Pro features 12 gigabytes of RAM and is powered by Google's Tensor processor. This is a new processor exclusive to Google's Pixel devices. Without getting too technical, it's basically a heavily customized version of Samsung's Exynos chip versus being an original silicon built from the ground up by Google. It's quite powerful, but the Snapdragon 888 has outperformed it in several instances. But if I'm being honest, benchmarks don't mean a ton anymore since real-world performance is really what's important and in my opinion what matters most. I think that's where the Pixel 6 Pro excels. It's kind of like the Apple approach, combining customized hardware with in-house software to improve optimization, and Google has done a great job with this. Day-to-day stuff like web browsing, checking emails, and scrolling through social media is extremely fluid. Gaming and other things that involve more processing is also very nice on the Pixel 6 Pro. This is important since it has a large, beautiful display that we just talked about. Now, one issue I noticed when it comes to performance is whenever doing a screen capture, sometimes the audio is out of sync of the video. I'm not sure if that's a performance issue or a software issue, but it's something that I noticed whenever I was doing my tips and tricks video. Factor in all of the AI processing and machine learning that this chip can do on device, and you have an incredibly powerful phone despite the benchmarks not being the best out there. I think the experience overall is fantastic, and most Android enthusiasts will love it, especially Pixel fans. Another benefit of having a software and hardware optimization is the advancements in battery life, since it should ultimately improve efficiency, especially when you consider the Pixel 6 Pro features a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which is pretty big. Well, that's not the case, and I think it's because the Tensor processor is still a first-gen chip, and Google has some things to iron out. It's not bad, but it's just not up to Google's advertisement times. In fact, it's really not even close to those numbers. On average, you can expect 6 hours of screen on time, give or take an hour. Battery life is super subjective and comes down to a lot of external factors, so I'm just throwing that out there. I would say it can last someone a full day for sure. If you're taking advantage of the battery saving features on this phone, it could possibly last you a little bit longer, but because the standby times are so bad, you'll need to charge it daily, more than likely. Additionally, the Pixel 6 Pro features reverse wireless charging, which is great if you're using Bluetooth earbuds that can charge wirelessly. Unfortunately, the charge times of the Pixel 6 Pro are pretty bad, at least when going from 0 to 100. It takes just under 2 hours for a full charge despite supporting 30-watt PD charging. This is because the Pro tops out at around 23 watts and trickles down even more after 30 minutes on the charger. Google states the reason behind this is to strike a balance between battery life, longevity, and fast charging. I really haven't run into any issues with charging times personally, but I can understand other people's frustration. Another issue when it comes to the hardware is the fingerprint scanner. It's pretty much one of the slowest in-display fingerprint scanners out there. Google says it's because of the enhanced security that's taking place. Sometimes it's a little annoying due to not recognizing my fingerprints, but overall, I don't think it's a reason to skip the Pixel 6 Pro. It still works good and it's a good form of security. The software experience is very nice. If you're used to Pixel software, you'll know exactly what I mean when I say that it's a super clean experience, exactly how Google intended it. If you're new to the Pixel, then know that it's an experience free from bloatware or excessive apps. While it doesn't feature the multitasking capabilities or high level of customization that Samsung offers with the Galaxy S21 Ultra, it does feature several exclusive features powered by AI. The Tensor processor improves things like the call screen feature, which can answer incoming spam calls, or how the Google Assistant can play and go through the waiting part while contacting a company's customer support. This is something that's like next level and I love it. The new processor also enhances speech transcription and opens up more possibilities for live translate. There are several AI enhanced features inside of the photo editor, such as Magic Eraser, which I covered in my camera tips and tricks video. Additionally, there is Face Unblur, which automatically corrects faces in blurry photos, which now works even better with the Tensor processor. The software experience as a whole is very fluid, it's snappy, and you will receive Android updates as they become available 99% of the time. Sometimes there are delays depending on if you have a carrier version, but for the most part, Pixel users will receive updates the fastest and the longest when it comes to Android. Now let's talk about the cameras, which I'm sure is the reason why most of you are here. The Pixel 6 Pro features a 50 megapixel main camera that uses binning to compress the 50 megapixels to a 12.5 megapixel photo. This process helps with noise control in low light, preserves detail, allows for better digital zooming, all while taking up less space on your phone. I do wish Google allowed the option to use the full size of the sensor, especially when shooting in RAW. Hopefully they can unlock this feature with a software update later on, but for now, we just can't do it. The Pixel 6 Pro also features a 48 megapixel 4x telephoto camera that again compresses the image to 12.5 megapixels through binning, just like the main sensor. Same things apply here when it comes to the benefits of this process. It can also do a 20x super res zoom shot, which is hit or miss. It doesn't compete with the dedicated 10x zoom lens like we see on the S21 Ultra, but if you're in a pinch, it will work. Lastly, we have a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera that is capable, but in my opinion, it's just not wide enough. On the front, we have an 11 megapixel camera that can take excellent looking selfies, especially in good lighting. The cameras on the Pixel 6 Pro are great. Easily some of the best smartphone cameras out there thanks to Google's processing. The Tensor processor makes these cameras more capable by improving things like real tone, which offers a more equitable representation of different skin tones by utilizing new on-device HDR algorithms. Pretty impressive. Motion mode is something I went over in my previous video, and it's also powered by the Tensor processor. It enables computational photography in order to focus on a moving object, and then it adds a creative blur to the background of that object. It's very hit and miss, but when it hits, the photo looks really neat. You can also take a long exposure shot for light trails or smooth moving water shots. Again, it's very hit and miss. I haven't had a ton of success using this option, but I have seen pictures from other people that look really good. The photo experience as a whole is good on the Pixel 6 Pro, but I do feel people have really overhyped this phone. Compared to other phones like the iPhone 13 Pro or S21 Ultra, the results are back and forth. During the day, the shots look awesome. You can see tons of dynamic range, lots of detail, vibrant colors, plenty of contrast, and overall, there really isn't anything to dislike or complain about. This goes for the portrait mode experience, as it's fantastic. In low light, I haven't had the best results. I'm getting images with tons of noise, banding, blotchiness, and horrible flares. Additionally, the Pixel 6 Pro seems to struggle with the color purple a lot, and it turns it blue. Astrophotography mode is still awesome, and it's gotten better, but I've had mixed results using night sight and handheld lower lit scenarios. For video, the Pixel 6 Pro is capable, but it's not up to the standard as other flagship phones such as the S21 Ultra, iPhone 13 Pro, and others. That said, thanks to the Tensor processor, we do have the new HDR net algorithm, which captures video up to 4K 60 frames per second with enhanced tone mapping and vivid colors. At least that's what Google says. While the results are okay, don't get me wrong, it's just not going to blow your mind. Video quality is good during the day, and at night, it gets noisy. It's fine for quick social media videos and family videos, so I think for 90% of the people out there, it's good enough. But if you're looking for the most balanced camera experience when it comes to photo and video, I think there are better options out there. Okay, so let's wrap this up. The Pixel 6 Pro is a good phone. It's not my personal favorite Android device, but for Pixel lovers, I think you'll really like it. It's easily the best Pixel experience to date, which isn't surprising since it is the newest model. But I really feel Google deserves a lot of credit here. Many times they went backwards with the Pixel by compromising on mediocre hardware, not giving us all the camera stuff we wanted, or just having a device that was priced way too high for what it offered. At $900, it's not a cheap phone, but I think for what you're getting, it's not a bad price. If you can get it on sale, such as on Black Friday from Best Buy, I think it could potentially be an excellent deal. It's also a phone that may not be the same 6 months from now due to all of the software improvements and new features that Google delivers. This means the phone still has a lot of growing up to do, and it will surely get better as time goes on. Let me know your thoughts on the Pixel 6 Pro down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a like. Subscribe for more videos just like this, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one.